Him. Hello. How goes it? Oh, man. I looked back over some of the, dialogue for some of the previous... previous quests in the English. It's so depressing. I genuinely don't understand the mindset and, I don't know, general cultural ignorance of this translation team. It is a thing that I've seen plenty in real life, in terms of a shocking amount of people who learn Japanese as a second language are just like very highly sheltered, world-ignorant nerds who think of Japan as like a magical fantasy land that will solve all of their problems, but they're not actually interested in Japan as it really is. The only thing that they care about is their fictionalized, idealized version of Japan. So if they get confronted with like actual culture and actual history and actual anything, they don't give a shit about any of it. And so that leads to, you know, them describing a group believing in Izami as heretics and just subbing in the word kami for God, but then keeping in all of the, you know, generalized Judeo-Christian expressions and framing. It's annoying. It's really fucking annoying. You know, you would think that people who would be, like, consuming art from another culture, another country, would be interested in that culture and not just, like, a sanitized, fucked up version of their own culture being projected back at them. You know? But considering, I mean, we are... When it comes to, like, Americans, you know, how many Hollywood remakes are there of, like, French or Spanish films? Right? You can't just have a foreign film and watch it. No, you gotta make an American version of it. We can't see people from, like, a different culture speaking another language in our art. That's weird. That's weird. We gotta remake it. It's very annoying. Yeah, like, they keep... The real weird thing, the really fucked up thing, is stuff like this. Here, I found it. In the Japanese, they keep saying... Let me just make sure. Let me just make sure of this. 1 second. Yup. So, this is when the fake Izami showed up and killed that guy. Right? The kami. She appeared as if from nowhere, and in the next instant, this poor man was... The actual line was, Izanami-sama ga, Izanami-sama ga arawarete, sono hito. Why are we just saying the kami? That doesn't make any sense. Again, this is like if you had a fictional Jesus showing up. And instead of referring to him as Jesus Christ, you had him say, like, the God. The God showed up. What the fuck do you mean? It's Jesus. And this is constant. They keep just referring to her as, like, the Kame, the will of the Kame. When this is just fundamentally not how this works. It's not how any of this works. Again, here's one where Hien is saying, like, oh, this was the false divine base did this, right? The Nisei Shinju, or whatever it was, did this. In the Japanese, Kisei says, Nisei Shinju nado no shiwaza de wa arimasen. Kore wa Izanami-sama no. What is that? Miwaza? Ni gozaimasu. No, it was ni gozaimasu. So, she says, this is not the doing of some false divine beast. This is the work of Izanami-sama. Again, Izanami-sama. In the English, it does not become my lord to speak ill of the kami. What are you doing? This is literally just like stock fantasy. This is what somebody would say in stock fantasy. They would say, oh, it is not becoming of my lord to speak ill of the gods. They just swapped out the word gods for kami, with no further thought. Like, they're so brain broken by generic fantasy tropes. I do not understand this, bro. I apologize for using a food metaphor, but it's like, you know, if you ever... Anybody with, like, Midwestern family, like Midwest American family, or whatever the equivalent is in your home country. You know? You got, like, parents or family who refuse to eat anything if it's not, like, slathered in A1 steak sauce, or Tabasco, or something of the equivalent. It's like, nope, just want my steak well done with A1 steak sauce. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is, they're just gonna put that same sauce on everything. They cannot handle the concept of something tasting different than what they're used to. Fundamentally, they just completely cannot comprehend it. Anything that steps outside of the norm is weird, and they seek to push it back into the standardized box of the norm. That's what this shit is. Like, it's genuinely so pathetic to be so boring and close-minded. Experience the world. Care about things. Step outside of your comfort zone. I promise you can handle a story and a setting that is not just generic Dungeons & Dragons fantasy for fucking once.
Oreo殿、先ほど海賊衆から宝玉海で偽真珠が目撃されたと連絡が入った。 幸い被害はまだ出ていないようだが。
Okay. We just received word from the pirates in the... Yeah, from, like, what, a pirate group that the falsified piece has been spotted in the Ruby Sea. Fortunately, there have not been any casualties thus far.
おう、ちょうど良いところに、早速偽真珠捜索網が機能してくれたのだ。
Okay. Just in time. The, what, False Divine Beast Search Network. What is, I don't know, it's like kind of proved its worth, maybe?
これより海賊衆の元に向かうつもりでな。慌ただしくてすまんが、そなたにも来てもらいたい。筋飼い取りでの羅生に話を聞きに行こう。
Okay, I'm going to head out to meet with the pirates. My apologies for, I would just say, like, my apologies, I'd like for you to accompany me as well. Okay. The frog mask is staying on. Right up until the point where I feel as though Hien does not bother me as a character. Oh shit, it's this guy. I like this guy.
これはまた、ドマの殿様までおいでなすったか。偽真珠ってやつは、それほどまで大物のようだな。
Ah, if it isn't the, what, Lord of Doma himself. This, false divine beast must be a real big deal, huh?
その通りだ。早速、目撃情報について聞かせてくれ。
Yeah, that it is. Please tell me about, what, give me the, like, eyewitness testimony immediately.
「話に聞く偽真珠らしき魔物は中止岩付近でうちの者に目撃された。だがそいつは襲ってくる様子もなく佇んでいたそうだ。
Okay, the, monster resembling the falsifying beast we've heard about. Or this, you might say, like, so-called. Like, the Hanashi ni Kiku, rumored, maybe? Was spotted by, like, what, my men near... No idea how you would... I mean, like, yeah, it makes sense that that's... It's like rock. Yeah, I don't know what you would go with for this place name. Okay, it showed, no signs of attacking, it just stood there.
海賊衆に参加した身寄りのない機関車たちも義援艦でかくまってもらっていたのは正解だったかもしれん。いれば襲われていた可能性もあるだろうからな。
Yeah, it really might have been the, like, a good call to have the, what, conscripts to return for the prisoner exchange, be sheltered at, what, that place. I can't remember the readings of these. I also can't remember what these places are. And after all, if they had stayed here, it would be likely they would have been attacked. Where it's like, it's not likely, it's possible they would have been attacked.
奇襲を仕掛けて早いところ始末してやろうじゃないか。
Okay. Yeah, it's good for us that it's not moving. Let's take advantage of that and launch a surprise attack and deal with this as quickly as possible.
俺たちは船を出して洋上から、お前らは島伝いに陸から偽真珠を探してくれ。逃がす手はない。見つけ次第早い者勝ちで仕掛けるぞ。
Okay. Well, we'll look for it from sea while you, search for it by land. We can't let it get away. You know, first person to find it takes it out.
おう、望むところだ。急ぎ中止岸へ向かうとしよう。
Okay, sounds good to me. Good. They're doing a little bit of fun, like, you know, we'll get it first. Doing a little bit of competition there. Fun pirate stuff. I understand that they can't, like, assume that you have flight unlocked, but it does become rather funny in any of these zones where you have flight unlocked. And they just kind of don't address it.
さて、この先が偽真珠が目撃されたところだ。おのおの抜かりなく行くぞ。
Alright. This is where the falsifying beast was spotted. Stay on your toes. And it's gone. It's gone.
逃げられてしまったか。
It ran away.
なんという素早さ。あれでは、大はやぶさでも追いつけぬでしょ
Yeah, see, like, this is why you can't just say that it flies. That doesn't indicate... Yeah. Ah, what type of bird is that? What type of bird is that? That's not... Is that... Oh, Hayabusa? It's some sort of falcon. I don't think that... Is that peregrine falcon? No. What, it's a... Yeah, I don't think that's not a peregrine falcon. It's like a... It's a big falcon. I'm just gonna say falcon, know that it's a specific type of falcon that is supposed to be very fast. You wouldn't just say falcon, you would do something else. It's so fast, not even what falcon could keep up with it.
そっちが先に見つけたか。だが、逃げられちまったようだな。
You found it first, but... Damn, looks like you got away.
偽真珠に転じた港という女がわしを恨んでいたのなら、向かってきてもおかしくないと思っていたのだがな。
What if... Minato, the woman who became the falsifying beast, held a... What grudge against me, I thought. What she might what, come after and, what, attack me?
港だって？あの化け物は港だってのか？
Wait, Minato? That monster is Minato?
そなた、彼女を知っておるのか？
Are you acquainted with her?
ああ、港は一時期、海賊衆が面倒を見ていた女だ。両親と一緒に、東の国に逃れようと船を出したんだが、帝国兵に臨検されちまってな。
Minato, what we, like, you know, we pirates, what, looked after her for a while, what, set sail with her, parents looking to flee to, what, Kingashi? But their, what, boat was, what, subject to, like, a surprise inspection by Imperial
俺たち
soldiers?
が漂流していたボロ船を見つけた時には、冷たくなった両親の間で、港が一人震えていたよ。
You know, what, when we found the, like, battered, like, the beaten up vessel drifting in, yeah, Minato was shaking between her already cold parents.
その後、筋飼い砦に連れ帰って解放してやってたんだが、よほど恐ろしい目にあったのか、とにかく臆病でな。抜き身の刀を見ただけで、悲鳴を上げるほどだった。
Okay, we brought her back to, what is there? This is like, is that just Tsujikai? Like, what, to, like, look after her, but she was so scared. She must have, like, been through hell. She, you know, enough so that she would scream just seeing a unsheathed sword.
そんなわけで、海賊仕事をさせるわけにもいかず、イサリ村で受け入れてもらえるよう、手回ししてやったのさ。
So that's why we, what, couldn't have her work as a pirate, so it's like we couldn't bring her in as a pirate, so we made, we made arrangements to have her be taken in as a villager in, Isari.
その数ヶ月後、この砂浜で、若い漁師の男と一緒にいる港を見かけてな。声をかけたら、いい仲になった相手というじゃないか。
A few months later, I saw Minato on the beach with a young fisherman. I mean, I guess you would probably just say when I went over to talk to her, it said, I think you might say like she just said she found love.
"それから何度も夫婦揃って浜にいる姿を見たもんさ。ようやく心安らげる場所が見つけられたのかと喜んでいたんだが。
Yeah, and then I would always see them, the young couple together on the beach. I was happy that she, finally found somewhere where she could be happy and at peace. You might say feel happy and safe.
生前の人格や記憶に影響を受けている可能性がある。確か、ラザハンからの報告書にそう記載されておりました。
But the actions and it's like the behavior of the false zombies are influenced by their personality and memories they had in life. if I remember correctly, that's what was written in the report from Razahan.
なるほど。この砂浜に現れたのは、港の思い出が、そうさせていたということか。
Yeah, I see, so... It was Minato's memories that brought her here to this beach.
だとしたら、偽真珠がすぐ逃げていったのも頷けるってもんだ。港は、とにかく臆病だったからな。
And that would explain why the false time beast fled. After all, Minato was so timid.
彼女だった頃の心根が、かけらでも残ってるんなら、ドマの殿様に刀を向けられちゃ、平静を保ってられねえよ。
It's like, what if there's anything left of... It's like, what if there's anything left of her? You know, if there's like even a shred of who she once was in there, then there's no way she wouldn't panic seeing, the Lord of Doma drawing a sword on her.
機関車をかくまっている。機縁官が襲われぬのも、あるいは、ドマの侍たちが守りを固めているためなのかもしれん。だが、そこまで臆病となると、どう叩くかが問題だな。
Okay, so then... Perhaps the reason why that place hasn't been attacked is because Dolmen Samurai are guarding it. However, if it's truly that timid, then... It does become... Yeah, the problem is how we're supposed to engage with it, or how we're supposed to attack.
しかし、やるせない話だな。両親どころか、愛する男すらも、帝国軍に奪われて、あんな悲しい化け物になっちまうなんてな。
Yeah, this really is... Yeah, what... This whole thing really is awful. And not only did she lose her parents, but the man she loved was taken by the Imperial Army. And she ended up as... this Kanashi Bakemono. That's a thing that shows up a lot. I don't know what you would exactly say in English. Like, what, her parents, the man she loved, her parents were killed, the man she loved was taken by the Imperial Army, and she became such a... It's like, what, sad? You might say tragic monster.
とにかく、またうちの島で、偽真珠を見かけたら、一報を入れる。その時は、せめてこれ以上、苦しまずに済むよう、成仏させてやってくれ。
Man, MTL has no idea what to do. No idea what to do for Jolvitsu. But, like, that's a really interesting word. I want to go on a 15-minute long tangent about that word. That's a really interesting word. Because, like, okay, here, let me just... Let me just give you the fucking dictionary definition, and you can see the sheer range. Right? This is a word that I've seen before, and it's very difficult to attempt to pin down because of the range in usage and meaning. Right? We've got entering nirvana, just resting in peace, dying in peace. These are very different things. Right? There is no one universal, all-encompassing religious doctrine that these characters are following. That's the thing that fucks people up who are completely and utterly ignorant to the way that the rest of the world works. Who only view things in this standard-ass, either Greco-Roman or Judeo-Christian religious lens. All this character is really saying is, rest in peace. Honestly. Right, you really can't say anything else. Do we dare check the EN? So this is, like, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Except for the first line, which is as bad as I thought it would be. But the thing is that it's also, it's not just saying, like, I would be hesitant to just say rest in peace. Like, you might say, like, attain peace. Or something along those lines, maybe. But, robbed of her parents, her husband, and now her life, I would rather we didn't have to at all. Where did you even get that? But I understand full well the risk we take by doing nothing. If we catch... what? If we catch sight of the blasphemy again, you will be the first to know. Perhaps next time we can put her soul to rest. That's, again, not really accurate. It's just like, that's a slight overstep, I would say. Not necessarily a big deal, but... the problem is that, one, they did this whole, like, I'd rather we didn't have to at all. If we have to, like, he is not at any point suggesting doing nothing in the Japanese. It's a weird thing for him to say. But the issue is still that they really are still just going at this with the mindset, like, these characters are not talking like they are Eastern. You couldn't really find... You can't differentiate these characters between, like, random Ishgardians. Everybody is coming from the same point of view. Like, Jolbutsu really should be something more specific. But also saying put her soul to rest makes it sound like she's a ghost or something? Like a lingering spirit, which is not at all what's going on, and nobody's really talking about it like that?
偽真珠に逃げられた以上、ここにいても仕方がない。トマチョ王人地に戻るとしよう。
And now that the falsified beast has escaped, there's no point in staying here. Yeah, I was expecting something along the lines of them saying, like, she will be with the Kami soon enough, right? Like, I think they've done that before. So props to them for not doing that, except, you know, that's the bare minimum.
偽真珠の動きは、おおよそつかめてきたわけだが、はてさて、どう討伐したらいいものか。
Hang on. I looked over at Garland Tolls. There was extra dialogue that I didn't check that I need to check now, because the English for that is crazy. Yeah, okay. Yup, this is a problem. Never mind, this is a problem. This makes it more explicit. This outlines the issue. This was like, if you go back to where, Tonsui was, you would get bonus dialogue. So, the Japanese line is, like, Minato's life was full of suffering. Yeah, at the very least, I'd like to, let her rest in peace, so that she doesn't have to suffer anymore. Basically. Right? The English for that illustrates the problem. And the reason I really didn't like the soul thing Minato suffered enough in life that her spirit should be made to suffer still even now is obscene. The blasphemy must be stopped. You see? This just shows a fundamental lack of understanding. And a fundamental lack of an attempt to understand. What are we talking about? They're specifically othering it. They're making a specific statement upon what it is, whereas in the Japanese they're not. Like, and that's intentional. They're not saying, oh, that's her soul, her spirit. They're just describing that is something that was once her and may now have some fragment of her. There isn't that clear delineation of, oh, this is her spirit, this is her soul. That's really, again, more of a Western concept. To have everything wrapped up in this nice, tidy little bow with clean labeling on everything. And we more or less know what the falsified beast's nature, but the question now is how we deal with it. Eliminate it. Well, this isn't gonna go well.
この度は、ドマ国君主飛燕様に、恐れながらお願いした、危機があって参上いたしました。
Oh my god. Oh, I hate her so much. It's like, I have come before you. What, ruler, or like, yeah, ruler, sovereign ruler of Doma. Would to humbly make. Like, with the utmost reverence to humbly make a request. Make unto you a request. Your kise, right? As if there's anything you would like to say, please by all means speak.
飛燕館にて、捕虜交換によって帰還せし、元帝国徴用兵をかくまっておられますな。
What, at that place Kien, whatever it was called. I don't actually know the reading for this. What sheltering former Imperial conscripts who were returned via the prisoner exchange, are you not?
彼らは本来戦場で死すべき者たちでございました。
Yeah, so it was...
亡者の霊魂を
So they are using shisubeki to mean
イザナ
ought
ミ
to
様
have
の
died.
御前に差し出していただきたく存じます。
Yeah, she's saying this is very heavy, Kegel. So, like, those men were fated to or meant to die upon the battlefield. Man. Futona. Jesus. Saying futo. Oh, that goes hard. It's like they're... It's like their unjust escape from their fated death now causes the suffering of those who of like the spirits dwelling within, or it's like, yeah, like causes the souls of the dead to suffer. Therefore, I implore you that you offer them, or like you present them before Izanami-sama at once. Yeah. Yeah, look at this shit. Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit, man. We welcome you with open arms and open hearts. What? No, what he said is, yes, if you have a request, please speak. She just says, like, they have been granted shelter at the Kienkan. That they yet live is an affront to the Kami's grand design. What are you talking about? What grand design? That isn't in any way, shape, or form a term that you can possibly use here. Please, I beg you, for the love of God. Learn anything. I was gonna say, like, learn anything about other religions and other cultures, but just learn. Yeah, it's just the Lord. The term grand design. That's, again, this is just Christianity via osmosis. And they're just shoving everything back into that framework. No matter how awkward and ham-fisted it is. Like, I mean, this again is really just a problem that extends beyond, like, religion and belief. You talk to any fucking American on the internet, and they're going to immediately assume that the person that they're talking to is American. Right? You talk to... Basically, anybody speaking English automatically assumes that whoever the hell they're talking to is from, like, their nation. Right? You ever see people talking about, like, oh, I need, like, advice on this thing. And some dumb fuck American will come in and be like, oh, actually, the thing that this person is doing to you is illegal under this state legislature. And they'll be like, I'm from Croatia. It's like, cool, it's cool that that's illegal in Georgia, the state, but I'm in Georgia, the country. That doesn't apply here. It's like, well, actually, you know, this person is going to be entitled to a jury of their peers. The thing isn't happening in America. No, they aren't. Context clues. Like, people can say explicitly. Right? They'll be like, oh, hey, this is a thing. I live in the Philippines, and here's this issue. And they'll just come in and just come barreling in with advice that only applies if you're American. It's weaponized ignorance, right? It's just this unrelenting refusal to expand your horizons. And it's no surprise then that people constantly make the argument of, oh, well, they're localizing things, so they've got to make it so that it fits in with the, you know, they're doing it for the audience here. Yeah, you asked what's a 401k? Exactly. Right? Like, so it's no wonder then that people think of it as a legitimate argument that, oh, we're just gonna change things because you gotta change things for the local audience. God forbid that Americans be exposed to different cultures. God fucking forbid. And that's the thing, is that it's such a small... Like, I think that genuinely, if these games and this media was translated faithfully, they would be far more popular. Because it wouldn't just be worse versions of the same things that they've already seen a million times before. Because instead of being these unique, incredibly well-written pieces of art made by, you know, people from a nation that is not America, instead you're getting a bunch of Americans changing Japanese works to be mediocre versions of American fiction. And, like, look at this. The Kami's grand design. I beseech you to render them unto the goddess Izanami. What are they referring to with the Kami's grand design? They're very clearly referring to the Kami's grand design as, like, the Kami, quote-unquote, as a whole. Right? Like, it's some sort of pantheon. And that Izanami is just one of the gods within the pantheon. I just think it's so utterly ridiculous that you have people who claim to be in any way, like, progressive or whatever, and then they'll also just be like, I actually don't want any hint of foreign culture in my art, thank you very much. It really is just fucking... As much as the term has been co-opted, it just is straight up cultural imperialism. It is people going, we gotta replace all this culture with our own, and then just nobody needs to know about any of the things that these stupid little Japanese people wrote in their own art. We like our stupid sanitized version better. I refuse.
死んで良いものなど言おうものか。わしが切ってきた者たちとて、死んで良かったはずはない。
おー。死んで良いものなど言おうものか。Bro, that goes hard. It's like, who possibly deserves to die? He does say, even those I've cut down. Like, the world is not... this is more nuanced. It's difficult to put this into English. I get what he's saying. He's saying, 死んでよかったはずはない. He's saying that it's a regrettable thing. Right? He's saying that it's regrettable, that it's not good. It's like, even those I've cut, like, I myself cut down, were not meant to die. I don't know, you might say even those I've cut down, their deaths were not, like, means for celebration. You would probably say. Or like, we're not cause for celebration. Maybe, something along those lines. This is difficult.
「それでも侍が人を切るのは、その業を背負ってでも救いたい誰かがいるからなのだ。」
Yes, even so, like, what a samurai cuts down another, what carrying the burden of what they've done because there are those they wish to save. And look at this shit. Again, that's very much so like some Eastern philosophy. 'Tis not our place to pray for the death of others, nor draw steel to sate mere bloodlust. When I take a life, be it by command or my own hand, I do so not in service to vengeance, but to uphold my duty to Doma and her people. It's so depressing, bro.
業を背負うとおっしゃるならば、なぜ、罪ある、代理総督世継を切らず放置なさったか。裁きを下さぬ殿様の軟弱が、我らを苦しめたのですぞ。
Yeah, if you claim to, like, carry these burdens, then why would you, spare Yotsuyo in her guilt? It was your own failure, your weakness that caused us to suffer. Or that brought us this suffering.
ドマ城の戦いの折、わしは命を奪うつもりで世継を切った。それは、彼女の罪ゆえでもあるが、代理総督を討つことで、救える命があったからに他ならぬ。
Yeah, during the Battle of Doma Castle, what struck her down fully intending to take her life. In part due to her crimes, but above all else, because killing the acting governor could save lives. Would save lives.
では、記憶を失い幼子同然となった世継に、他者の命を脅かす何かがあったのか。わしは、それゆえに切れなかったのだ。
Yeah, and so did Yotsuyu, having lost her memories, and having become like a helpless child, pose a threat to the lives of others? It's like she did not, and that is why I could not kill her.
その判断を否とし、過ちであると断じるならば、その責めは甘んじて受けよ
Yeah, if that judgment is considered wrong, what if my judgment was mistaken and I'm condemned as being wrong? I will take the blame for what I've done.
だが、機縁下にいる機関車たちの命を差し出すことは断じてできん。殺しの業を背負い、他者の命を救うために、彼らの命を奪うのだと、その信念がある者は前に出よ。
Yeah, but I will not, offer up the lives of those, under protection in Kienkan. If there are any among you who would bear the burden of killing, would bear the burden of being a killer, any among you who believes that they will take the lives of others to save, that they will take the lives of others to save, I don't want to use others. You might say, like, taking their lives is needed to save others. If you have that conviction, step forward.
それでも、亡者たちが叫んでおるのだ。まだ、交戦国に来たるべき者が来ていない、と。
Yeah, but yet the dead are still crying out. Yeah, that those who ought to have, come to the realm of the dead, the underworld, have not yet arrived.
それは、誠に、死者の言葉か?
I need to see Hien's lines there. I have not read this yet, let's do it together. For her crimes and her cruelty, I cut her down that day, the day we took Doma Castle. I sought to kill her, and by right she should have died then and there. Completely got rid of him saying why he did it. But the kami willed otherwise, and returned her to us, alive and bereft of her memories. With no recollection of her deeds, it would have been Tsuyu who faced punishment, not Yotsuyu. This was my judgment, and for it you were denied the justice you deserve. You have every right to resent me. No, he's specifically saying it wouldn't have been justice. Also, why is he saying Tsuyu? There are going to be plenty of people in the crowd who don't know what the fuck he means. That's why he readdressed the crowd and specifically said she lost her memories and was reverted to a childlike state. She didn't pose a threat to anybody. Like, you completely got rid of his central argument that he would only take a life to protect the lives of others? You just completely got rid of that? But you come before me and ask that I sacrifice men and women whose only crime was to suffer, to be condemned to a life of servitude. If you truly believe your cause to be sacrosanct, believe yourselves fit to bear the burden and swing the sword, then step forward. Sophistry and lies. They were meant to die. The spirits demand it. I beg you people, read a book. Like any book. I don't know, man. Like, go look at some fucking Basho poems. Learn anything. Like, fundamentally, these people do not speak Japanese. You need to have cultural knowledge in order to speak a language. You need to. These people don't speak Japanese. They are interpreting the meaning of words. They're just making shit up based on their own biases. They completely got rid of Kian's central argument, like, his main guiding point that he would only, like, there is no such thing as a just killing, right? That's what he was saying. He's saying that, like, again, this comes back down to that, like, strict good versus evil thing. It really does. Like, they're coming at it from the perspective of there is good and there is evil. If you kill evil, that is good. That is just. Kian is saying, this is a very Eastern thing, there is no such thing as a just killing. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be just. It's not good that they died. The only reason I would take on the, like, debt, the weight, the punishment of the action of taking a life would be if it was to save the lives of others. Like, specifically him saying, even amongst the people that I killed, you know, monsters, horrible people, it is not a good thing that they died. The concept there of, like, the inherent value of life. It's saying, like, I'm not in a position to be the one to make the judgment over, like, the moral value of their lives. No, I mean, the generalized statement of just saying, like, it is not a good thing that they died isn't really, it's not, like, Confucianist. It's difficult to describe, but, like, you can see that they're retrofitting this into a standard stock Western morality lens. And therefore completely getting rid of what Hien is actually saying. Especially with the kami willed otherwise. Like, that's just comically racist. The kami willed otherwise is insane. Genuinely, that's like some shit that you would see coming out of a character. Like, you know, you got some random-ass white dude with, like, big-ass buck teeth and the big glasses and the straw hat putting on the racist accent like a 1950s movie. The thing is that it's not necessarily just the concept of, like, karma that would cause him to say the things that he's saying, but that was, like, the loose generalized concept of that also does kind of come into play, considering that he's talking about, like, shouldering the weight, bearing the burden of that action. You've got multiple overlapping systems at play here that lead up to the ultimate conclusion of taking a life is a burden unto yourself. Now, are those truly the words of the dead? Oh shit! Oh shit! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! It's the boy!
お主、死者の霊魂を口寄せできるらしいが、拙者は帝国の戦場跡で、とある人物に出会い、手紙を託された。
Well, I've heard that you can channel the souls of the dead. When I met a certain person on an Imperial battlefield who entrusting me with a letter?
イサリ村の漁師、秋津だな。お主宛てだ、受け取れ。
Are you, Akitsu, the fisherman from Isari village? This is, for you. Please take it.
これは、親父からの手紙。戦場で重傷を負って、今は治療中だって？
This is... Oh, you dumb bitch! Get God! Get God! This is a letter from my father. He was seriously injured in battle and is recovering. Yeah, undergoing treatment.
親父は生きていた。じゃあ、あの口寄せは？
Yeah, my father is alive, so... Yeah, what was that channeling then? Oh.
さて、これをどう説明する？
So then, how do you explain this? Oh, she's gonna turn. She's gonna flip.
義娘は臆病な娘であったが、真に家族思いであった。私のためにきっとお前を打ち果たしてくれるはず。
Yeah, although my daughter-in-law was a timid girl, she truly cared for her family. Yeah, for my sake, I'm sure she'll... It's like, what, strike you down? Hmm. Oh my fucking god.
若、ご挨拶が遅くなり申したが、豪雪、ただいま、帰参つかまつりました。
Wow, they totally fucked this. The whole point of Gosetsu is like that rough, like brash personality. Surely a woman of your talents can divine a plausible explanation for this turn of events. When what he really did was tower over her and say, "So, how do you explain this?" Short, to the point, intimidating, imposing, powerful. Long, meandering, lame, weak. Young master, please forgive my delay in addressing you. Yeah, you're... I don't know, you might say your like servant, humble servant Gosetsu at your service.
おお、よく戻ってくれた。そなたのおかげで、規制の欺瞞が暴かれ、扇動されていた村人たちも我に帰ってくれたようだ。
I'm glad to see you back. Thanks to you, what says deception was exposed and I don't know, the villagers have come back to their senses.
本当に助かったぞ、豪雪。どうやら、偽真珠の件はすでに承知しているようだな。
Thank you so much for your help. Gosetsu, seems as though you're already aware of what's going on with the false divine beast.
ドマに戻ってきたところ、民の騒ぎを聞きつけ、話を聞いて回ったので、 大体のことは把握済みでござる。
On my way back to Doma, I spoke with the... I heard, like, what the commotion amongst the people, spoke with them, and I believe I've come to a rough understanding.
アキツの父親とは、帝国領内で異例の旅をしている時に、たまたま反乱軍の療養所で出会った次第。
Okay, I happened to meet Akitsu's father at a... rebel medical facility or something, while I was on a journey to pay my respects to the dead. Like, pay my respects to those who died in the Empire.
のっぴきならぬ状況下ではあるが、こうして皆無事に再会できたことは喜ばしきことでござるな。
It's like what I wish it could be in better circumstances, but how wonderful it is to see you all again.
"そなたは確かトンボだな。
Ah, you were Tombo, was it?
ごめんなさい。ヒエン様のことを恨むなんて俺が間違っていた。
I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to blame you, Lord Hien. Or you just say
恨ん
Hien-sama.
だところで死んだ父ちゃんは帰ってこないのに、そうせずにはいられなかったんだ。
Doing that won't bring my dad back. But I just couldn't help it.
もう良いのだ。どうか面を上げてくれ。
It's alright, please. Lift your head.
でも、兄貴は誰も恨まなかったことで、絶望して獣になった。俺もまだ、父ちゃんの死を乗り越えられていないから、今度は自分が獣になるんじゃないかと、不安なんだ。
Well, my brother... It's like didn't blame anyone... and fell into despair and became a beast. I still haven't... come to terms with Dad's death either, so I'm worried that I might turn into a beast.
作ってあげられたらいいんだけど、遺体も戻ってきてないから、埋葬すらできない。
I wish I could make a grave for Dad, but since his body was never recovered, I can't even bury him.
ごめんなさい。これも、ヒエン様のせいじゃない。どうしようもないことなんだ。
I'm sorry, that's not your fault, Hien-sama. It's nobody's fault. It's like, there's nothing to be done.
戦場跡に残る大量のムクロを埋葬いたしました。アキツの父のように生存している者は例外中の例外、戻ってきてない。徴用兵の生還は絶望的でござろう。
While on my journey, I buried countless corpses left behind upon the battlefield. Those who survived, like Akitsu's father, are like an utter rarity. Or those conscripted soldiers who have not yet returned what hope for them is all but lost.
そして、たとえ虚偽であっても、規制の口寄せに、救いを乱す者がいたのは事実。
Yeah, and even if it was false, it is a fact that there are those who found comfort and found salvation in Kise's channeling.
また、逆恨みであっても、やり場のない怒りを、飛燕様や機関車に向けることで、絶望を紛らわせていた者もいたはず。
It's like, what, there are those looking for someone to blame. What, who directed this? What, who directed their anger? At you, Hiezama, or the returned soldiers? What, to distract themselves from their growing despair?
そのすべてが失われた今、あの小僧しかり、絶望を抱えた者が、獣と化す危険が生じたことでござろう。
And now with all being lost, there is the danger that with those, what, harboring despair like that young boy. I don't know, you might actually say lad. Just that boy. May transform into
その通
beasts.
りだな。規制の虚偽が暴かれたとて、状況が好転したわけではない。今こそ、中華の抜本的な対策を講じねばならん。
You're right. But even though Kise's deception has been made public, it's not as though the situation has improved. We must take, what, drastic measures to, prevent transformations.
豪雪、
Further transformation.
旅で死と向き合ってきた、そなたの知恵を貸してほしい。
But I need your... Yeah, it's like I need the knowledge you've gained from your... What, journey to... like, it's not just pay respect to the dead, again. The Ide is not exactly the same as just like a passive pay respects. But whatever.
この老いぼれにできることがあれば、何なりとお申し付けくだされ。
And if there's anything an old man like me can still do to help, well, please do not
そも
hesitate.
そも、元凶であるよついを生かして連れ帰ったのは拙者。その責任も果たさねばなりますまい。
After all, it was I who brought Yotsuyu back alive. You know, who spared her and brought her back alive. I must see this through to the end.
オレオ、この旅もご苦労だった。獣化の対策はわしらで講じておく。また、折を見て。
Okay. That's just a little wrap-up line. Next quest. Oh, shit. Oh! Ah, God. Ihin here is... I have no idea what this is going to be referring to, but in English, you can't really just, like... I don't think you can be vague like this. It's like the soul residing within something. You know, again... This quest here is pretty good. It's interesting. That's the thing, is that I still don't like Hien as a character, but the things that are occurring here are interesting.
オレオ殿、海賊衆による と、あれから偽真珠の姿は目撃されていないそうだ。おそらく我らを恐れてのことだろう。
Okay, according to the pirates, the falsified beast has not. Or yeah, there have been no more sightings of it. It's likely afraid of us. Ah, man. It is fun when you see Osoraku, warera o osorete. Seeing, like, technically the same word get used twice there is interesting, but, like, that's why you've got some words with kanji and some words without. Like, when you see osoraku, you aren't really thinking of fear. You're thinking probably or likely. But, you know, technically if somebody was not very knowledgeable about Japanese, they could say, I fear it is out of fear of us.
一方で、豪雪と共に練っていた獣化を防ぐための方策がまとまったと聞く。飛燕様から説明を受けるとしよう。
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, a native speaker wouldn't even think about that. But you're just like, oh, I know the root for that. It's like, I don't know, it's like if somebody was saying, like, I've been fasting, so I can't have, like, I'm fasting, so I can't have breakfast. Right? Where the word breakfast is just a singular chunk, you don't think of it as break fast. Okay, so they've finalized the, what, measures to prevent transformations along, like, Hien and Golsetsu have done that? Okay. Let's go talk to him.
すでに危機を読んでおるかもしれんが、機関車たちを保護していることもあり、偽真珠に動きはない。
Okay, I'm sure you've heard, but there have been... given that we are protecting the, returned soldiers, there's been, what, no movement, activity from the falsified beast.
その間、獣化を防ぐための方策を練っておったのだが、豪雪、説明を頼めるか?
Okay, during this time, we've been devising a plan to prevent these transformations. Golsetsu, if you could explain. Elaborate.
トンボが語っていたように、徴用兵の遺族らは、愛する者の遺体すら戻ってこないとあって、弔うこともできておらぬ。
As Tombo said, the, bereaved families of the conscripted soldiers have not been able to properly mourn their loved ones as the bodies were never returned. Their bodies were never recovered.
敬意を示すと同時に、別れを告げる機会でござる。それができぬとあっては、死を受け入れることも難しい。
What burial? What is an opportunity to, what, pay one's respects to the dead and, what, while at the same time bidding them farewell? But without that chance, it becomes difficult to accept death.
そこで、わしは決意した。我が祖先の霊廟である岩塩廟に戦没者すべての魂を祭り、厳かに国葬を執り行うとな。
Yeah, therefore I've made a decision to to enshrine the souls of all those who died in in the war, in the, what, game? It's more like shrine. You can't, it's not necessarily mausoleum. Oh, no, yeah, it is mausoleum specifically, never mind, yeah. Because they specified earlier, I've had to work backwards up. It is, you would just say mausoleum. At the mausoleum of my ancestors. And to then hold what a... Yeah, I guess you would say solemn state funeral.
遺体なくしていかに弔うのかと思うやもしれんが、ここ東方には物に魂が宿るという思想があってな、生前に使っていた遺品を安置しようと思う。
Oh no! Oh no! You might wonder how we could, mourn the dead without their bodies present, but here in the East we hold the belief that souls, spirits, reside within objects. We intend to therefore enshrine the personal belongings of personal belongings used by the dead in their lives. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, you dumb motherfuckers. Oh, you dumb motherfuckers. Hey, there's something that really pisses me off about this, which is that they can have these lines be this long. So clearly word count isn't a problem when they just cut out, everything that Hien was saying in previous lines. The idea came to us after considering Young Tombo's remarks about his father, whose body was never found and returned to Doma. Others no doubt share in his melancholy, unable to bury and mourn their loved ones as is their right. Put simply, they cannot make peace with their loss. Their anguish, if left to linger, may consume them as well. So, you got rid of, all of Gositz's actual description of what mourning and burial represents. That we might provide the people of Doma with comfort and closure, we will hold a natural funeral at the Swallow's Compass. You just completely got rid of the statement of him saying that it was his family's, his ancestors' mausoleum. That's, actually quite important. To be enshrined within that sort of... In the case of him being, the Lord of Doma, that's, a very high position for them to be enshrined alongside them. Those who choose to attend will be asked to present personal effects of the deceased they wish to be enshrined there. Spirits reside in all things, be they living or inanimate, and though we may die, a part of us lives on in the items we cherish most in life. You're just having him say that as, fact. You're just having him say that as fact. Instead of him saying, you may be wondering how we will mourn without our body present. Well, here in the East, there is the belief, there is the thought that spirits, souls, reside in things. You might go with all things there for that mo, necessarily. Therefore, in lieu of remains, these belongings will be afforded a place in the royal mausoleum that the spirits of those lost to us may find their way home to Doma and at last know peace. What are you talking about? You're talking about, you're setting it up like it's a beacon or something?
すでに国葬の開催について触れも出しておる。遺族からは賛同の声も多く、遺品の用意も進み始めているのだ。
Like, again, they're trying to wrap everything up in a pretty little bow. They cannot comprehend the actual belief system that's going on here. Like, what? But if there's like, if they're just like, but if they're burying a thing that they use, then that's not going to be like their whole soul isn't going to be in there. So they have to think that it's going to be like a beacon for their soul or something like that. Or it doesn't work that way. It doesn't have to work that way. They're telling you how it works. Just listen. It's like if, I don't know, it's like if a very narrow-minded Buddhist was listening to like a Christian describing the process and like, but if their soul goes to heaven, how will they, you know, escape the cycle of reincarnation? It's like, well, but no, there is no reincarnation. You die and go to heaven, but then how will you reincarnate? It's like, well, you don't, you see. That's not the belief system. We don't believe in that. And they're just like, but then how do you reincarnate? You don't. Exactly. It's just bafflingly stubborn and close-minded. Well, we've already spoken of the idea of holding this state funeral. There's support from the bereaved families, and they've already begun preparing their personal effects, their belongings. Yeah, so then we're going to go collect those belongings. While, speaking with, or listening about the lives of those who used them, you would probably say.
いかに思われていたのかを知り、語り継ぐことこそ、死者への供養となり、遺族の慰めにもなろう。
Yeah, learning how they lived and okay, yeah, it's like how they lived and how they were, I guess, seen or remembered. What I'm passing that down is, what passing that knowledge down will be what their memorial and, you know, the comfort for their families.
わしと共に同行してくれぬか？解放の英雄の記憶に刻まれるとあらば、喜ぶ者もいよう。
Yeah. Yeah, okay, would you be willing to accompany me? I'm sure that they would be. It's like they would be overjoyed to, I don't know, I guess you would say like to have that, it's like what, to have their and their loved ones remembered by the hero who liberated Doma?
夕霧は、イサリ村を頼む。豪雪は
Okay, Yugiri, Isari village if you could, Golsetsu.
拙者は、野暮用がありますれば。
Oh, he's like, apologies, I have a small matter to attend to.
あい、わかった。では、オレオよ、わしとそなたで、生井村へ向かおうぞ。
I understand. Okay, we're going to Namai.
"遺品の受け取りは、わしがやろう。そなたは遺族たちの話に耳を傾けてくれるだけでいい。
Yeah, I'll handle, accepting the, belongings of the dead. All you need to do is listen to what the bereaved families have to say.
断っておきたいのだが、大切な遺品を預かる手前、わしは、魔物との戦いを避けたい。
Huh? Okay, I should say, as I'm entrusted with these, precious belongings, I would like to avoid
遺品には、
conflict with monsters.
取っているという。丁重に扱いたいのはもちろん、戦闘でさっき立ってしまうと、彼らの安らかな眠りを妨げることになるのだ。
Right, it is said that the souls of the deceased reside within their belongings. As such, I'd like to treat them, with care. It's like if they were to be, upset, or set into a frenzy in conflict, it would disturb their peaceful slumber.
故に、もし魔物に襲われても、わしは戦うことができぬので、そのつもりでいてほしい。では遺族たちのもとへ行こ
う。Yeah, therefore, even if, monsters attacks, I will not be able to fight. Please keep that in mind. Now then. I'm done looking at the English, so I'm not gonna look at that one, but there's a 0% chance they translated any of that.
遺品を用意いたしました。帝国に徴兵されていって帰ってこなかった夫、マロヤの代わりに、この筆を霊廟に安置してください。
I've prepared the belongings, please. Enshrine this brush. Yeah, that's like a writing brush in the mausoleum in place of my, husband Maroya was taken, conscripted by the Empire, and never returned.
マロヤの逸話があれば、聞かせてくれぬか?
If there's anything you'd like to... is there anything you'd like to say about Maroya? It's not really you'd like to, if... He does say, anecdotes, right? I don't know, but in English, Alright, peace out. I don't know, I think it's fine to say if there's anything you'd like to say about Maroya. Would you please tell us?
マロヤはおとなしい人で、絵を描くことを好みました。野良仕事にまで、その筆を持ち込んで、暇さえあれば、ヤンサの美しい風景を描いていたものです。
Maroya was a quiet man, loved to draw. He would take that brush with him, even when going out to work in the field. But whenever he had free time, he would paint the beautiful scenery of Yansa.
深く金にわたって水墨画家として生きていけたらと願っていたようです。
And he would hope that he would one day move to Kugane and make a living as a... It's like, what, an ink painter?
徴用兵として連れて行かれてからも、しばらくは異国で描いた風景画が送られてきましたが、それもぱったりと途絶えてしまって。
Hang on, I need to make sure that I read this properly. Yeah, I did. Even if after he was taken away as a conscripted soldier, it's like even after he was conscripted, he would send home the landscape paintings that he had, the landscapes that he had painted in those foreign nations, but those suddenly stopped as well.
きっと、夫は異国よりも遠い世界に行ってしまったのでしょう。願わくば美しい場所にいてもらいたいです。
I'm sure my husband has gone, it's like gone from me somewhere much further than just a foreign land. But I only hope that wherever he is, it's beautiful.
マロヤはきっと美しいところにいるだろう。この筆を安置して彼に届けてやろ
う。Yeah, I'm sure Maroya is in a beautiful place. Yeah, it's like what will enshrine this brush and it's like deliver it to him, right? Again, you see the difference in the belief system there.
う。ヒエン様、私の一人息子、元末の刀を安置してくだされ。
Hien, someone please, enshrine the, yeah, it's like that is blade katana of my only son, Motosue.
If
you don't mind, could you please tell us about Motosue?
拙者はお父君に仕える侍衆の一人だったのですが、帝国侵攻時の戦勝で隠居を余儀なくされました。
I was once a samurai in service of your father, but I was, forced to retire. Due to the, injuries I received in the Empire's invasion.
戦に敗れ、侍の時代は終わったと嘆く拙者を、誰よりも強く励ましてくれたのが、息子の元末でした。
Mototsu, my son Mototsu, who was there for me to encourage me while I lamented the end of the age of the samurai after our defeat.
息子はその刀で鍛錬を続け、いつか土間の侍となり、家を復興してみせると。ですが、帝国軍に徴用されてしまった。
And my son continuously trained with that katana to, in hopes of one day becoming a samurai of Doma, to, restore our family name, or our family. But then he was conscripted into the Imperial Army.
息子だけなら、帝国軍から逃げ、独立運動の烈士となることもできたでしょう。しかし、拙者に累が及ぶことを避けるため、犠牲となったのです。
Ah, okay. How do you word this? I think I'm just gonna paraphrase this. He's saying, like, I'm sure that my son could have led the Imperial Army and, fought as a patriot for independence, but it's like he sacrificed himself to prevent any harm from befalling me.
ご子息の元末は、高校者にして忠臣だったようだ。この刀は、土間侍衆の一人の愛刀として安置させてもらおう。
Your son, Motosue, was a devoted son and a loyal patriot subject of Doma. This katana will be enshrined as a cherished, I don't know. I think you could just say, like, as the blade of a great samurai of Doma. Great Doman samurai.
息子が土間侍衆の一人、元末は泣いて喜ぶことでしょう。
Yeah, I should probably take off the frog hat. These people deserve the respect.
俺の父ちゃん、鈴代と、そして獣になってしまった兄貴の遺品だよ。
Lord, Kinsama, this. It's like, sake jug. Honestly, you could probably just say sakagame. And it's like belonged to my father and my older brother who became a beast.
二人の逸話を聞いてもよいか?
Could you tell me about the two of them?
父ちゃんは木工職人だったんだ。仕事一筋の頑固親父で、楽しみといえば晩酌くらいでさ。
And my father was a woodworker. He was a, stubborn man who was completely devoted to his work. what his only... what hobby, really, his only, like, diversion was... I don't know, his nightly drink.
兄貴もそれに付き合うようになって、よく二人で満月や虫の音を魚にこの酒亀のお酒を飲んでたんだ。
Yeah, when my older brother came of age or grew, you probably just say grew up. He began to join him. The two of them would drink from this. Yeah, would drink from this. What, looking out at the full moon, listening to the... With, like, the insects chirping at night.
俺も大きくなったら一緒に飲みたかったけど、もうそれは叶わない。
And I wanted to... Yeah, I wanted to drink alongside them when I grew up, but that's never going to happen now.
二人で飲んでもらえたらと思って、この酒亀を遺体の代わりに埋葬してほしいんだ。
Yeah, so I want this Sakagame to be buried, in place of their bodies, so that the two of them could share a drink again together. In the underworld. Like, notice how they're going with the concept here of, like, the things that they're enshrining are potentially going to go greet these people where they currently are. Whereas in the English, they did the exact fucking opposite. They said that, like, their souls would be drawn to the things and then rest there, but they're saying that, like, their souls, they've already gone to, like, the underworld. But that, like, part of them is still residing within these things that they used and cherished. That's going to be a very confusing concept, potentially, to people who are not familiar with other cultures or belief systems. It's so fucking tilting.
きっと、父上も兄君も喜ぶことだろう。二人のこと、しかと記憶に留めた。その酒亀を霊廟に安置しよ
う。I'm sure they'll be... Well, I'm sure they'll be happy. Pleased, maybe. But I swear I will remember them. We'll enshrine this Sakagame in the mausoleum.
そして、お主が酒を酌み交わせるようになった暁には、亡き二人に代わり、わしがその相手となろう。無論、お主が良ければ、だが。
And once the day comes when you're, old enough, all take their place and share a drink with you? Of course, only if, only if that's alright with you.
ひとまず、生井村で受け取る予定の遺品は、これで全てだ。棚田の方で、少し一服することにしよ
う。Okay, that's all of the, personal belongings we're to collect in Namai. Let's take a break over by the rice fields.
「父ちゃんも兄貴も岩塩病に収められると思ったら、なんだかとても救われる気が。
I really don't want to look that shit up. I mean, Hien did say something about, I can't fight, but I mean, I guess it's just because he was technically following you, right? Like, you could have, like, aggroed something, I guess. That's not necessarily saying that there's going to be combat in this quest.
What,
going around, traveling through Doma, speaking with the people has made me realize. This is actually a complaint that I had with this character. If he's about to have the character moment of realizing that maybe he should actually reevaluate his fundamental assumptions about Doma as a whole, this would be wonderful. I realized I was focusing entirely on Doma's future with the, formation of the Eastern Alliance, restoration of the, I can't remember, like, Merchant's Quarter or something like that. But meanwhile, I entirely overlooked the past of those, consumed by grief. Like, of those, I don't know, it's like of the past of those in pain. And what if we don't face the lives that were lost? And bid them farewell? We, cannot move forward or look forward without becoming beasts. I overlooked or forgot? It's like overlooked, didn't notice something so that important. It's like, yeah, what about your past? I'm gonna go with what about your past. Yeah, me? I never thought... I never thought you would ask. What is that? How do you say this? How do you say this? How do you say this? I mean, I guess sore spot honestly is kind of like, yeah. It's like, what, they really hit a sore spot there. After all, the first thing you ought to face is your own past, isn't it? My apologies. When I was, passing by on the way to, finish my errand when I happened to overhear the two of you speaking. It's like, what if I can speak plainly? A young master, after losing Cayenne somehow in the chaos of war and taking his place. I'm sure you did not have time to, properly mourn your father's
その
death.
行方もわからぬままでございますれば、海援様の遺品も霊廟に収め、別れを告げるべきでござる。
As his, body remains unfound, we ought to place Kaien-sama's belongings in, or to enshrine his personal belongings in the mausoleum as well to bid him farewell.
それこそ、若が獣になられたら、たまったものではござらぬ。
Yeah, after all, young master, if you were to become a beast, it would be a disaster.
豪雪、そなたの野暮用とやらは、置いたはずの刀を、履かねばならぬほどのものなのか？
Gosetsu, as this errand of yours, important enough to require, would you once again carry that blade of yours that you set aside?
これは、
well,
生い村の甘柿を剥くのに、ちょうど良かっただけのこと。それでは、拙者はこれにて失礼いたす。
yeah, it was perfect for peeling the sweet persimmons from Nomai village. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I'll take my leave.
あやつめ、偽真珠討伐のために、無理して、刀の稽古を再開しておるようだな。止めろと言って、聞くような男ではないのが困りものだが。
He's pushing himself to practice? Yeah, to begin training with that katana again to confront the false divine beast. And the trouble is, or the problem is, that he's not the sort of man who would listen to me if I told him to stop.
豪雪の言葉も一理あるか。わしも己の過去に向き合わねばなるまいな。
But Gosetsu has a point. It's like Gosetsu is right, has a point. I have to face my own past as well.
正直に告白しよう。わしは父の死という過去に向き合うことを恐れてきた。
And let me be entirely honest. I've been afraid to face the past, my father's death.
あれは父に率いられた反乱の折、ドマ城の奪還に成功し、勝敗は決したかに見えた。だが、ゼノスの第12軍団が増援として現れ、形勢は逆転した。
Okay, during the, rebellion led by my father, they succeeded in recapturing or retaking Doma Castle, however, it seemed like victory was close at hand. However, that all changed when reinforcements arrived, Xenos and the 12th Legion.
わしと豪雪は陥落寸前の土間城から脱出したところで、町陣地にて父が討ち死にしたことを知った。
When, Gosetsu and I had just escaped Doma Castle, when it was on the verge of, falling, verge of surrender, when we learned in, the, castle town, that my father had been killed.
豪雪は人目をはばからず泣いていたが、わしは、まさにその瞬間に、土間の国主を継いだのだ。悲しみに暮れている場合ではなかった。
That's what Gosetsu openly wept. Yeah, but at that very moment, I took over. I took over as Lord of Doma. You know, the ruler, the Lord of Doma. I had no time to grieve.
溢れる己の感情に蓋をして、仇討ちを望む。豪雪を止め、動揺する兵を鼓舞し、三々午後に散って、落ち延びよと命じた。
It's like what I suppressed my own emotions and stopped. Golsitsu was bent on taking revenge. I encouraged the shaken soldiers and ordered them to scatter, disperse, and make their escape.
それから今に至るまで父の死から目をそらし未来を見据えてここまで歩んできた。いい加減後ろを振り返る頃合いか。
From then until now, what I've continued to walk this path, looking forward, averting my eyes from averting my eyes from my father's death. But perhaps it's finally time to look back.
さて、ここまで胸の内を語ったからには、そなたにも最後まで付き合ってもらうぞ。
What do you say for this? What do you say for this? It's like what, now that I've, I don't know, like opened up like this? But I trust that you'll see this through with me to the end.
我が父海縁の遺品は、空を飛ばねば向かえぬ場所にある。夜を呼ぶので、共に向かうことにしよ
う。And my father, Kaien's belongings are what can only be what reached through flight. I'll call Yoru. We can go there together. Whoa.
向かうは山間にある泉、焙煎号だ。それでは。
Oh yeah, that's the name of these birds. So you'd say I'll call the Yoru. Okay, we're going to, I guess it's like, what, Plum Spring, I guess, pretty much? It's probably like, what, Baisinkyo? Yeah. A spring in the mountains. Let's go. Hmm? Querpst? Where the hell my Uber driver taking me? I guess I haven't, like... Oh, there it is. Yeah, I haven't uncovered this part of the map at all. I didn't even know you could come up here. Ooh. Oh. Oh, there was a big stutter there. I thought the game crashed again for a second. Oh, shit.
ここは、わしが幼き頃に両親に連れられ、花見をした場所でな。絶えず監視される、帝国統治下の生活にあって、あれは、平和なひとときだった。
Okay, this is a place my parents brought me for, what, flower viewings when I was a child. What, in our, lives under constant surveillance by the Empire, it was like our only time of peace. It was like, peaceful times.
厳格な父が、ただ一つ幼子のわしに与えてくれた、ある玩具をな。
Yeah, that's why I buried it here. What a toy, what strict. It's like, yeah, a toy my strict father gave me when I was a young boy.
大流山脈の奥深くに住まうとされる伝説の随従、聖天体制の人形よ。
What a puppet doll of, Seiten Taisei. Yeah, what a, legendary, it's like, yeah, auspicious face said to live within the, that mountain range. It's like Otatsu? Is that Otatsu or Dairyu? Who knows?
トマのアラベの間では大層人気があってな。わしも幼き頃、無謀にも会いに行こうとしたくらいだ。
It was incredibly popular amongst the Doman children. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was even, reckless enough to try and go see it for myself.
この人形は、わしが元服した時、子供時代に決別するため、ここに埋めたのだ。亡くなった母の喪が明けた直後のことでな。
Okay. Yeah, I buried this doll here when I came of age to, yeah, like, bid farewell to my childhood. It's like, right after the... I guess, I don't know if it's like time of mourning. Probably time of mourning for my late mother had ended.
父の遺品と言って良いのかはわからぬが、まっとうな愛用品は残されておらぬのでな。父も笑って許してくれよ。
Yeah, I don't know if this can really be called, a belonging of my father. But he left nothing else behind. This is very difficult to convey the nuance in English, but it's not that he didn't leave, like, anything else behind. It's specifically referencing the idea of something that he, like, cherished. I guess you could just say that. He did not leave any other cherished belongings behind. Yeah, but I'm sure my father will smile and forgive me.
この人形を霊廟に収め、わしも父に別れを告げよう。
I'll enshrine this doll in the mausoleum and say goodbye or bid farewell to my father.
"しかし、一国の主が随従人形を厚生大事にしたというのはどうにも決まりが悪い。これは二人だけの秘密だぞ。"
Yeah, it'd be... What, embarrassing for a ruler to... What, care so much for a doll of an auspicious beast. This is a secret just between you and me. Alright.
付き合わせてすまなかったな。では夜に乗って町陣地まで戻ろう。
And sorry for making you go along with this. Okay, let's go back.
「さて、最初の遺品受け取りは
わあ
ったわけだが、この調子ならさほど間を置かず国葬の準備は整うだろう。さすれば過去と向き合い、獣に至る絶望を防ぐことも叶おう。
Okay. Alright, he's just saying, like, yeah, the preparations for the funeral will be done soon. You know, we'll be able to face the past and... what, avert the sort of despair that
とはいえ、
creates beasts.
問題は残ったまま。
Yeah, there's still the problem of the falsifying beast.
玄関で俺を
Okay.
この旅の協力に礼を言う。国葬には
This is just a little recap lines again.
参列してほしいのでな。折を見て。
Okay, yeah, I'd like you to attend the funeral. Please take the... Okay, yeah. Yeah, when the time is right, please speak to Yugiri. Yugiri. And the time is now. This could be multiple things. Doma no Tomurai. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's not really like a Doman funeral. It's like, Doma's funeral is not... It's not really that... We'll have to see. Okay, all the belongings will be enshrined at the, Gaian Mausoleum. Funeral's about to take place. Okay. It's weird doing this back-to-back with the Dawn Trail stuff, because we just had another large-scale mass funeral.
偽真珠の行方はつかめておらぬのだが、これは国葬を執り行う後期とも言える。
Okay. The whereabouts of the falsifying beast remain unknown, but we could consider that a perfect opportunity to hold this state funeral.
絶望を打ち払うため、一人でも多くの遺族に過去と向き合う機会を作りたいのだ。ぜひ、解放の英雄たるそなたにも参列してもらいたい。
Okay, to drive away the despair that... Yeah, it's like what that leads to... that's so awkward. I don't know what, to relieve the despair that drives people to become beasts. I want to provide these families the opportunity to face their past. Or face the past. And I'd like for you, the hero, the liberator of Doma, to be in attendance as well.
早々参列といえばだな。残念ながら、豪雪は不参加となった。
And speaking of attendance, unfortunately, Golsetsu is absent. or will be absent.
あやつめ、やはり隠れて、剣の修行をしておったようでな。無理がたたって腰を痛め、寝込んでしまいよったのだ。そんなわけで、我らだけで、岩塩病に向かうぞ。
God damn it. Yeah. Well, since he really was training in secret, he overdid things and injured his back and he's laid up in bed. So we'll make for the, Gaon Mausoleum ourselves, on our own. You would say, like, what, just the three of us? The classic. I mean, I guess this is probably the closest one. Man, it really is quest lines like this, though. It really is quest lines like this that are so discouraging in general. Where it's like you've got all of this very interesting and very good cultural information, and they just don't care, man. Like, they just don't give a shit. It's very frustrating. Because you would imagine, like... You would imagine that even people who don't speak Japanese would be able to identify this as fucked up, but apparently they can't.
岩塩病に安置する遺品の中に、聖天体製の人形があったのだが、あれは一体
You're kidding. There was a, doll in the like belongings of Trident Museum. What's the deal with that?
参列者が集まるまでまだ時間がある。中で待つことにしよう。
Okay, there's still time until everyone arrives. Let's wait inside. So wait, is the falsified beast gonna show up right now, or are we gonna do the funeral and then it shows up? Oh, you bitch. Oh, you bitch.
ヒエン様。
Yeah, sama.
誠に申し訳ございませんでした。これまでのご無礼の数々、どうかご容赦くださいませ。
I'm incredibly sorry for what I've done. Please, I beg you. It's not... Yeah, please forgive me for the... It's like, what, the disrespect I've shown thus far.
義娘が展開いたしましたのは、イザナミ様にヒエン様のお触れにあった通り、偽真珠でございました。機関車に対する非道なる言動も、謹んでお詫び申し上げます。
She's up to something. I don't believe this. My daughter-in-law... What did not become... Izanami-sama, but a false divine beast, as you said. But I apologize. Everything that I have said and done... What, towards those... who returned from the Empire? I don't believe you.
ヒエン様が国葬を執り行うと聞き及び、ドマの民の一人として感激した次第にございます。
Yeah, as a fellow Doman, upon hearing that, Inazama, you intended to hold a state funeral. I was deeply moved.
まっこと勝手ながら、我が夫と息子、さらに偽真珠に転じた義娘の遺品も持参いたしました。どうか、共に安置し、供養していただきたく存じます。
It's like, I know I have no right, but I have brought the belongings of my husband, son, and of my daughter-in-law, who transformed into the false divine beast. I beg you, please. What, enshrine them as well? She's gonna, like, stab you or something.
さあ、麺をあげてくれ。
She's gonna stab him. She's gonna stab him. Of course. Now lift your head. She's gonna fucking stab him. She's got a knife. Yeah, I knew it! That's the I'm hiding a knife pose. That's the classic I'm hiding a knife pose.
これで、義娘が、あだを、打ってくれる、はず。
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, she will come to it's like she will avenge me. The thing is, when you're in that, like, if you're in that doyeza, it's very close to the waistband where you could be concealed with a blade. Yeah, she used her own life as bait to lure out the falsified beast. It's coming. Oh, damn, it's fast. I couldn't give you an example, but that is a classic trope. Especially with, like, an old woman like that. Hang on, let me set up all of these fucking dances. Oh wait, I forgot to put up the buffs. Fuck. I forgot to put up all the buffs. I'm washed. Oh wait, shit. I was supposed to use an interrupt. I don't remember which button is the interrupt. Okay. There it is. I see it now. They're actually wanting me to use interrupts. Crazy. They haven't done that in forever. Man, I don't remember shit about how to play this class. I remember fuck all. My UI is all screwed up too because I accidentally set it back to default like forever ago.
まさかこれほどとは。だがまだ膝をつくわけにはいかん。
I hate burst windows. I hate burst windows. I'm so used to playing Viper that I'm just using buttons when they're off cooldown. Oh no, actually you gotta save everything for your exact 2-minute window.
周りに気をつけろ。迫り来る怨念の気配を見極めるのだ。
They seem to be very low HP.
やめている？何か仕掛けてくるぞ。は、体が。
Okay, so that was supposed to happen. Oh shit. It's the boy. Sick, sick.
遅くなり申したが、拙者も助立ちいたしますぞ。
I apologize for the delay. I will, lend my aid. Sick.
豪雪？その尺状は？
Golsitsu, that... that's not just staff, but that's like that staff. That's a specific type of staff.
異例の旅の道すがら、修験道の鍛錬を始めましてな。もはや刀は持てませんが、少しはお役に立ってみせましょうぞ。
Oh, we're dropping Shugendo. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, well, yeah, on my journey to pay respects to the fallen, I began training in, it's like, Shugendo. I may no longer be able to wield a sword, but I can be of some use. That is a specific, that's a very specific thing.
しぶとい男だの。しかし、おかげで助かった。
It's like this is another one that I did know about, vaguely. I'm not gonna pretend to be like an expert on it or anything. But it is like a sort of like pseudo, almost shamanistic thing, but it's a combination of like esoteric Buddhism, Taoism, like some Shinto stuff in there as well. It's cool. It's like you really are a stubborn old man, but thank you, you saved us.
では、仕切り直しといこう。
Hell yeah. So then, what? It's not like I guess you could just say let's begin again. But that's not exactly what it means. I should have checked what they translated that to. Hang on, let me just set up all of my various stances.
我が命豪雪に預けた偽りのイザナミで今度こそ決着をつけようぞ。
宝石が狙われている。オレオ殿、彼のもとへ急いでくれ。
助立ち感謝いたす。おかげで大事ないでござる。あやつ、拙者を狙っておるのか。オレオ殿、あやつの動きを封じてくれい。
There we go. I don't know why that didn't go through and I had to click it. Oh, it's on a different bind than I thought it was. The shift bind didn't work. It's a good thing I actually still have that bound. Despite them never fucking using it. Okay, he's setting up defenses.
今こそ資源の方で皆をお守りいたす。助かったぞ、豪雪。さあ、港を沈め、安らかに眠らせてやろう。
Yeah, we're talking about like having it rest in peace. It is interesting the dancer has like an option select. Because considering that the double follow-up for the feather thing is RNG, you can just buffer both sides on the assumption that it'll proc. And if it doesn't proc, then who cares? Dump all the buttons. Oh hey, I got all the procs. No. I do wish that more of the fights used interrupts. Interrupts are a fun mechanic. The only reason I don't like have a bound on anything is because they never fucking show up. Hey, notice how the boss's name is Izanami, but in katakana? If this was a belief system in which heresy was a thing, don't you think that the people making the game would be, like, concerned about that being considered quote-unquote heresy? Or, like, sacrilegious? No. Hey, remember that thing that Hien said about it's like, it's never a good thing that they have died? Like, look. Notice how he said, like, even the people I have killed, they did not... It is not good that they died? It's almost like that was an important thing to say. We couldn't save her, but at the very least, we'll... enshrine her body and her family's belongings.
この旅は未来を語るのではなく、過去に目を向けたい。戦場で死んでいった者たちには、それぞれの人生があり、思い出があった。
Yeah, rather than speaking of the future, I'd, like to look back to the past. Those who died on the battlefield had their own lives, their own memories.
長くなるが、岩塩病に埋葬される、すべての者たちの名と、その逸話を聞いてもらいたい。
Though it will... I guess you will say it will take some time. But I would like for you all to... hear the names and the... hear the names and hear of those who will be... buried here in... Or those, buried or laid to rest here in the... in Gaian Mausoleum.
そうして、皆に知ってもらうことで、個人は我らの記憶の中で生き続けることができる。それこそ、最大の供養と遺族への慰めになるだろ
う。And so... it's by sharing their lives with all of you here, those who have passed can live on in our memories. I'm sure that would be the greatest service and the greatest service to them and the greatest comfort to their families.
元川のマロや、水墨画をたしなみ、ことさらやんさの山並みを好んで、描きたり、くがねにて画家を制業とすることを夢見て精進す。
I think you have to leave the no here in. I think you have to leave in the no here. This should be... you don't just do this it's first name, last name. You do hyphen here. This should be Motokawa no Maroya. Motokawa no Maroya. What a lover of ink painting. I don't know, you might just say an ink painter who loved painting the mountain ranges of Yansa. He devoted himself to his dream of making a living as a painter in Kugane.
地頭の元末、我が父、海縁に仕える侍衆の一人なり、家族のため犠牲となった、その功は、父の誉れとならん。
地頭の元末。Yes, a samurai in service of my father Kaien. May his... he sacrificed who sacrificed himself for the sake of his family. But it's bringing honor to his father.
小田組の鈴代、 のみと土あれば、いかなる木材も万物に変える職人なり。仕事一筋の一本気、長男との晩酌のみを楽しみとする。
小匠の筋しろ。Hmm? Wait, which is that? Oh, that's Chisel. Yeah, that is Chisel. Okay. Yeah, with his, what, chisel and mallet. It's like a craftsman. But who could create anything with his chisel and mallet? A man wholly dedicated to his craft. What, who loved or took pleasure in sharing drinks with his eldest son.
Finally, 四方垣の港。そして、彼女の義母であった帰省についても語りたい。二人にも、確かに幸せな暮らしがあったことを。
Yeah, lastly, 四方垣の港. Yeah, as well as her, mother-in-law, Kise. It's like, the two of them had... I think you would just say the two of them lived happily.
両親は、帝国兵に殺められたが、海賊衆の助けにより、イサリ村で暮らすこととなった。そこで、愛する夫を得て、心安らぐ居場所を見つけたという。
Yeah, Minato's parents were killed by Imperial soldiers, but... Yeah, with the... thanks to the pirates, she came to live in, Isari village. Yeah, there she found a... Yeah, loving husband. It's a loving husband in a place she could live, safe and at ease.
帰省は、水の里に生まれし海の民なり。追放の浮き目にあったがイサリ村で家庭を築き、一男を設けた。義娘となった港ともども、仲睦まじき家族であったという。
Kisei was... Yeah, one of the people of the sea, born in the village. Though she, suffered exile, she made a home for herself. Or it's like, no, that's made a family, or built a family, started a family in Isari village and gave birth to a son. Together with her daughter-in-law Minato. They lived as a, close and happy family.
本日、収められたものは以上である。彼らの生は、我らの心と共に、彼らが生きた証は、我らが廟にて、永久に祀らん。
Say it with me now. Ikita Akashi. Man. Yeah, they are the ones who have, what, been enshrined, or you could say laid to rest here today. What they... that's... I don't know, it's not necessarily... I guess you could say they live on... I think you would just say they remain within our hearts. Yeah, the proof of their life will be enshrined forever in our mausoleum.
皆で個人に黙祷を捧げよう。我らは今、平和をつかんだのだと伝えるために。
Yeah, let us all... Like, ooh! This is something that pisses me off. This is why MTL is bad. They just say moment of silence. For mokto. That's different. That's prayer. That's a prayer. Let us, like, offer a silent prayer. For the... For, like, the deceased or the departed. Like, that they may know that we have attained peace.
偽真珠との戦いになろうとは予想外であったが、これで全て終わったのだな。
I didn't expect to have to... Or that to, yeah, become a fight with the falsifying beast, but it's all over now.
であった。さあ、ドマ超人地に戻るとしよう。
Okay. You all did well. Let's go back.
偽真珠を討伐し、国葬をもって、さらなる獣化への対策も打てた。これにて、一件落着と言ってもよかろ
う。Okay, by subjugating the Volkswagen Beast, and carrying out the safe funeral, we've taken all necessary precautions to prevent transformation. Yeah, we're saying everything's wrapped up. We're good.
解放し、元の生活に戻ってもらおう。
Okay, all of the, former conscripted soldiers who were under protection at the, Cayenne Khan will be returned to their normal lives.
それにしても、豪雪、そなたの登場には驚いたぞ。刀の稽古で腰を痛めたのではなかったのか?
But still, Golzitsu, I was shocked to see you. I thought you hurt your back during sword training.
それは本当でござる。できれば、侍として助太刀できればと願っていたものの、星が言うことを聞きませなんだ。
Yeah, that is true. If possible, I would have liked to have helped as a samurai, but... Well, my back just wouldn't cooperate.
ところに、誰かに呼ばれた気がしましてな。気合で起き上がり、尺状を掴んで馳せ参じた次第でござる。
But, while I was in bed, I felt someone calling to me. With all of my strength, Rose grabbed my, staff in hand and rushed over.
まさか、あの豪雪が癒し手に転身とはな。ドマ城から生還した時よりも驚かされた。
Yeah, I never Would have thought that Golsetsu, like that you, Golsetsu of all people, would become a healer. It's an even greater surprise than your survival at Doma Castle.
とは言っても、まだまだ修行の身。これより、再び異例の旅に出て、鍛錬に励むつもりでござる。
I'm still, in training? Plan to once again go on a journey to pay respects to the dead. And what? Like further myself?
そうか、また行ってしまうのだな。
Oh, I see, you're leaving again.
飛燕様が困った時には、いつでも戻って参りましょう。この豪雪、侍改め修験者として、生涯現役で戦う所存。
Okay. Yeah, Hien-sama, whenever you need me, I'll be there. It's what, Golsetsu will fight, what as a once samurai, now Shugenja, for the rest of my days.
では、これにてごめん。
Now then, I will take my leave. What is the... Yeah, it is Shugenja.
さて、国葬にて、民は過去と向き合い、個人に別れを告げた。これでやっと、皆が未来を見据えることができるだろう。ドマはこれから、新たな道を歩み始めるのだ。
Okay, with the state funeral, the people were able to face the past and bid farewell to the deceased, or to those who have gone. Now, finally, we can all look forward towards the future. Doma is about to begin on a new path.
マッコと世話になった。ドマのために尽力してくれたこと、心より感謝する。
You've done so much for us. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for all that you've done for Doma.
最後に手数をかけさせてすまぬが、偽真珠を討伐した旨、ラザハンにいるドマの駐在武官まで報告を頼みたい。この経験が他国の対策の助けとなるようにな。
Okay, he's just saying to go back and report to the last person. So, I should do the tank one next, right? Like, cause the healer one everybody was saying was like the best one out of the ones that are left. It would be probably best that I just call it here instead of like starting 45 minutes of the tank one, or whatever. But I have heard that people were saying that the healer one is like considered incredibly good, so I could just leave that one for last, but I'm interested in the tank one. I don't actually remember which one is which. If it's like, I can't imagine... Okay, Gridania probably has to be the tank one, right?
オレオ殿、戻られましたか。して、守備はいかがでしょう？
How were things? Yeah, there's no way that Gridania would be like, oh, we need a healer.
それはとても喜ばしい知らせ、すぐさま各国に共有いたします。
Okay, you've successfully subjugated False Divine Beast. Wonderful news. I'll share with the other nations at once.
我が故郷を救っていただき、誠。
Yeah, thank you for saving my homeland.
遠隔物理 DPS 上部
Yay. Yeah, tank. Wait a minute. This is another one of those ones like... yeah. That is Tozasareta. Tozasu? Or is it Kusari? No, it's Tozasu. That's gotta be Tozasu. It's like the forest what? What? Wrapped in death? Or something like that? Very interesting. Very cool. I am going to need to... I did get Warrior up to 90, which was mind-numbing. But I need to actually, like... somewhat remember how to play the class instead of just pressing random buttons. I did specifically level up Warrior because I just could not fucking stand Knight. I don't know why I stuck with it for so long for Shadowbringers. It's such a pain in the ass class. People are like, oh dude, trust me bro, it gets super fun at 100 bro, trust me bro. No. But I also just don't like tank. But in any case, that's gonna do it for me for this one. That was very good. I feel like... I mean, they've all just been very good. I don't even know what I would necessarily, like... how I would rank them so far, but... I'm interested in the Warrior one. Let me... Here's what we can do. Since we've got a little bit of time. You know. Okay, yeah, so the English for that quest name is just like Shrouded in Death. What? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hey guys, remember the thing that Hien said? Remember the thing that Hien said when when Kise died? He was like, we couldn't save her. You remember how that's like similar to what Merlin said as well? It's almost like there's some sort of like general overarching trend of forgiveness and compassion in the face of despair and whatnot. You know, like maybe if you squint. This is what English Hien has to say about Kise. A deceiver to the bitter end, but she is still a daughter of Doma. She will have a proper burial and her family's belongings enshrined with the others. Like, this is the entire game, just like in a nutshell. He didn't say that. Or what's left of her. Oh my god. Oh shit. Well, they did it for us. They almost did it with the Gosetsu thing. They did say Shugendo, but pilgrimage proved a most enlightening experience. I really wouldn't use the word pilgrimage, necessarily. That's whatever, that's fine. The big thing, though, that I looked at here, they did reverse ordering for the names of the people. They did reverse ordering for the names. And they also just did it like first name, last name. One day would have been a renowned artist in Kurane. Nope. Warrior in training, he longed to become a samurai like his father. In the Japanese, he just called him a samurai. That's a complete spit. He's spitting in his face in the English. Are you fucking kidding me? Calling him a warrior in training? No. Let me look at this. Let me look at this. Nope. In the Japanese, he just calls him a samurai. So, are you fucking kidding me? In the English, they call him a warrior in training. He longed to become a samurai like his father. In the Japanese, he calls him. He says, a samurai. In service of my father. Kaien. He gives him the honors? What? You're gonna take that away from him? Like, that's the whole point. That's why it's so moving to his father. Is that he's not considered like, oh, a warrior in training, or like a samurai in training, or an honorary samurai. He just describes him as one. Who hoped to one day pass on his talents to his two loving children? No. That wasn't the point. He didn't place that burden on them. They just described his love of sharing of drinking with his son. That's like an actually important cultural concept. The idea of like, hell, it's even a thing it's a thing in the West too, but not to necessarily the same sort of like ceremonial level. The idea of like sharing a drink with your father. It's, you know, it's important in the West, but it's like really even more so. The idea then of like seeing them as an equal, right? Instead, you're just reducing him entirely to his work. Yeah, instead of listing the thing of, like, he enjoyed sharing a drink after his, like, long day of work with his eldest son as being the thing to be remembered by, they just say, oh, he wanted to pass on his talents to his two loving children. They fucked it all up. All of it is wrong. Every single one of these descriptions for these people is wrong. And it's wrong for no reason. None of these were even difficult. It's just like pure... They're trying to play editor, but they have no idea what the hell is important. Oh, that's so... fucked up and sad, man. Like, way to completely deflate the scene by calling her a deceiver to the bitter end instead of having Hien actually stand true to his beliefs of saying that it is not a good thing when people die. Wait a second. Also, they say Kisei was a child of the born in Tsui no Sato. So they're totally fine with using the, like, hyphen no hyphen thing for the place name, but then they just go with like a fully westernized first name, last name ordering for the actual people. They also don't do like proof of life. That's also gone. But really, I do genuinely think that the worst one out of that is the warrior in training longed to become a samurai like his father. Like, it's a very big deal for him to not only say that he was a samurai, but specifically a samurai in service of Cayenne. That's like... I don't know, man, that's like calling somebody... That's like the... In terms of importance, it's almost like calling somebody a fucking saint. Borderline. Like, that's an exaggeration, but... You know, it's like knighting somebody, but again, even more so. Like, it's the difference between calling somebody a proud knight versus saying like, oh, he's like a squire. You know? Like, whatever, man, who cares? Like, imagine how betrayed that dude's father would be. He, in the previous quest, he said that he would, like, remember him as a samurai. Here, wait, let me check. Because in the English, didn't he just, like, completely lie to the dude then? Yeah, no, he just totally lied to the guy. In the English, he just totally lied to the dude. Yeah, you just totally lied to Motosue's father. This lady was a loving son and a warrior true. I will care for his blade as if it were my own, and see it given the honor and respect to a samurai of Doma. A samurai of Doma. Motosue would be so happy. Warrior in training, longed to be a samurai. Yeah, he wasn't one. He just lied to the dude. That's so fucked up. Oh, man. God, that's great. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me for right now. Good times, fun times. Next time, tank stuff. People said that that one was, like, not good, and so I will be very, very interested. It's probably fine. But these have all been very good. Enjoying them a lot. Peace out. See you next time. Fun times, good times. Peace.